got to rebound from our loss, obviously, last weekend. That's the task at hand this week, is to refocus and get ready for our next opponent. As far as the USC game, the real bottom line is you can't go -4 in the turnover margin and have a chance to win against a team like USC. So that was the biggest factor in the game. I thought we really got deflated when it was about 11 minutes to go in the second. We were up 14-7, driving, had a 3rd and 4 through the interception that was returned down to about the 4-yard line, and that was really seemed to be the turning point in the game, and never really fully recovered from that, which it's unfortunate. We should have been able to handle that, and we never we played hard and all that, but we never were able to seize momentum after that, it seemed. So that was the biggest turning point in the game. We did have some outstanding individual performances. Johnny Paul and his 17 tackles, he played very well. Britton Covey had an exceptional game. Special teams rebounded. We did some really good things on special teams after a not so good performance the week before. So there's some positives to take away from the game, but bottom line obviously is we didn't get it done. Big picture, we're still a game in front in the South. Still control our own destiny as far as that goes, and so we've got to put it behind us and move forward. And that's what we got to do right now. Questions?
Kyle, you got a lot of familiar faces on the other sideline this week. You kept in touch with Gary and Kalani, especially since Kalani left last year, and just talk about that relationship.
Yeah, certainly. And Gary, we've maintained a friendship for going on 30 plus years now, or 25 years. So we've that's business as usual for us. Have spoke to Kalani a few times as well. Try not to bother him during the season, obviously, and vice versa. But as far as Gary goes, yeah, we speak just about every week.
You mentioned the interception and not recovering from it fully. What do you do maybe in the future when that happens to recover from it more quickly?
Well, got to make more plays. I mean, it seems like we weren't able to really make any momentum-type changing plays after that. And then, of course, when we got down after the next interception, it became 28-14, after the at halftime. Well, we got the field goal right before half, so 28-17. But you just got to have the right mindset. You got to be able to handle adversity, because in the Pac-12 conference, there's going to be adversity every week. You're going to face adversity every single week. And I thought up to this point in the season we had done a pretty good job of handling that. And I'm not going to say we did a horrible job on Saturday, but we just never seemed to get the momentum back in our favor after that interception.
I know it's a short sample size, but have you seen that teams can bounce back from one loss, get into the playoffs under the new system, as opposed to in the BCS?
My guess is there probably won't be any undefeated teams in the Power 5 at the end of the year, at the end of the football season. It maybe one. I mean, that's just, if you go back, it's really hard to do. It's really hard to go undefeated. And, we'll see. And we don't really care about anything but this week. But historically, it's really hard to go undefeated.
You seem pretty conscious of not getting down on your players publicly after that game the other night. Is that something you've learned over the years, and maybe who have you learned it from?
Well, hopefully I've learned a few things. It's been a while since I've been in this position, but I know you can't let one loss affect the next game. That's for certain. USC is a good team. I would say they're the best 4-3 team in the country. I can make that statement with pretty much 100% confidence. And so it was a good team. We lost to them at their place. We didn't play our best football. We know that, but life moves on. We got to be ready for the next opponent. We got to be ready for the next challenge. And like I said, we still control our own destiny. We can't let this affect us in a negative way. There can be no hangover in this next game from this past week.
In the past, you've talked a lot about the character of this team and the leadership that it's shown, which kind of goes to the point that you don't need to really get down on them and stuff. I mean, what's the mood in the locker room right now, and how are they going to take this and use it going forward? Well,
big disappointment to lose a football game. It's disappointing. It should be something that hurts and really gets has an impact on you. But you got to be able to shake it off and move forward. And if you didn't care, if you were just able to let it roll off your back, then you have a bunch of guys that aren't really all in. And so our guys are all in, and so the loss stings, but you got to see big picture, and you got to understand where you sit, And like I said, it's really hard to go undefeated anymore. I mean, there was, you go back through the last 5 or 6 years, there's not a whole lot of teams that have been able to do it. And so we still have an opportunity to accomplish all our goals and moving forward, we need to do that.
The receivers are trying to get some separation. It seems like a lot of these defenders are doing a good job of locking them up. Is there something, lack of speed or just route structures that needs to be changed? Is that kind of partially why Kendrick Young's moving up as well, or is Tim Patrick out?
Well, with Timmy Patrick, that's a good point. I should have said that we're going to try to get a medical hardship for him. That's why we took him off the depth chart. It's to the point in the season now where we thought he was going to be ready last week, and he had a couple good weeks of practice, then had a setback, or had a couple good days of practice and had a setback, and so now we're to the point where we think he's going to be best served to try to get this waiver. As far as the receivers, I mean, we still threw for 250 yards and completed 67% of our passes and did some good things. It was the interceptions that was the big problem. So I don't think it was anything that receivers were not doing. Perfect day for us is 250 yards rushing, 250 yards throwing. That's perfect. If you're going to say what's the perfect offensive game, and so we just didn't run the ball as well as we needed to.